See, okay, we're going live. All right. I believe that we're feeding out to the folks out there. If you guys can hear us loud and clear, let me know. Um, I know we're a little late here, and we were supposed to have, Babyface P on, but I don't think we're gonna have Babyface P on at this point. So, um, there you go. We do have Steve of Rex Silentium. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, cool. So we're gonna kick the show off here in a second. Before I do that, I want to remind everyone to go to hankstrange.com, sign up there for our email list, look around the site. We've got all kinds of things to point you guys in the right direction of being able to support us, the different platforms we're on. Like right now, we're going live on Utreon, so I can show you guys guns. You can actually handle guns like this, if anyone knows what this is. So can't do that on the YouTube. So you're looking at it later on YouTube's. If you want to watch us live, you need to go over to Utreon and follow us there. You could even support us. They work a little bit like Patreon as well as YouTube over there. So check that out. All right. That being said, let me kick the show off here and let's do this.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation, Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded.
We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Franklin Armory. Franklin Armory provides 100% US made firearms and awesome binary option triggers. Their focus and purpose is to provide freedom tools to all Americans, especially those in not so free states. So when you're in the market, please consider Franklin Armory. All right, so we we are back here. We are live. Steve, I don't know if you remember this. We do jazz hands. There you go with the jazz hands. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on, cause we are live. This is episode 860. Steve, do you have them on, or are you going commando? I don't know.
Generally, it's commando, but
Oh,
every
okay.
once in a while, I need to feel sexy.
All right, understood. This is episode 860 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. We have Steve of Rex Silentium. As I said, this is not his first time being on. We're supposed to have Babyface P. He claims he has no knowledge of having to come on the show tonight. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with that. We might see him. We might not see him. He supposedly got his own pizza oven, and he's busy making pizza. If that makes
Oh,
any sense. Yeah, I
I
mean,
love an outdoor pizza oven.
right, there you go. Absolutely. All right, so listen, Steve, it's good to have you back here on the show. We might have some other people jumping in, but what have you been up to since how long ago was that you were on, man?
Well, I don't quite remember, but it was a very fun show. I
Yeah.
think it was with Flying Rich and Rob McNeely from TUSC.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, we
That was
had,
that was over a year ago, I think, right? Maybe even longer.
right, and it was a great conversation. Since then, I've just been doing a lot of research and development. I keep pulling the string, and
Mhm.
trying to find out how far I can go with the suppression.
Mhm.
Um, so we've got some new things that will be coming out. I don't have a calendar or any kind of specific timeline, but there are a myriad of things in development. Um, so the most recent thing that came out was a shotgun suppressor.
Mhm.
So we made a few hundred of those, and they sold out in 4 hours.
Oh, cool.
So
Very
we're,
cool.
we're back to machining
Mhm.
more and more parts, and I can show that to you, a little later on.
Mhm.
I have one sitting. But other than that, we've been very, very busy. Production has, I mean, it's crazy. Um, the market, has a few little fits and starts. It's not as completely bananas like it was back in 2020 and then into 2021. Um, but with brand recognition for Rex Silentium, and the turbidity of the market, uh, it's really just it's a vertical stretch for us right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna try to pull up. So, where are you guys in social media? Can I pull you up on Instagram? I think so. I think I
Yeah,
see.
yeah. Instagram is the only one we do.
Okay.
We don't have anything else, and the reason is just for simplicity's sake.
Hmm.
Um, Instagram kind of has it all, and since most of the things are visual, I think it's just simple, a simple way to share. some of the things we're doing, and if we're out at the range, we can take a quick video or take a quick snapshot and
Mm-hmm.
share it with the world.
Yeah. So let me see. I'm going to try to get it pulled up here and I'll share that with the folks. But just for a quick refresher for folks who don't know, so you guys make suppressor stuff, right?
Yeah, we started
Mm-hmm.
in 20. I've always been involved in manufacturing. I've been self-employed since I was 23. Uh, I've had my own machine shop, and in 2016, um, it was uh, it was inspiring to see somebody outside of politics win the presidency, and I figured, if there was ever a good time to throw my hat in the ring, that was it. And so, the political winds kind of changed. And if Hillary had gotten in, I probably wouldn't have started
No.
Suppressor. I think just wait
Would
and
you
see.
were you going into the hills or where are you based for all
Um,
the folks out there who
we're in Bozeman, Montana, and so
mhm,
that's the last place you'd want to start a manufacturing, enterprise. But I've
mhm,
been here since 2000, so
mhm,
I had roots, as a company, as an individual. We had there's no debt. I mean, so it would be very hard to do business or to do what I do in this valley, because it's like Aspen, Colorado. It's like Vail. I mean, the
mhm.
prices here are absolutely insane for ground.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
no,
it's
it's
because
basically we started, and we've been just plugging away ever since. We've
mhm.
made a lot of friends in the industry. With other suppressor companies and everything. There are some really great salt of the earth people out there, and there's always a chance to learn.
Yeah. So when we had you on, I think we had you on at the same time as Rob McNeely of TUSC. And
Mhm.
as you said, I think Flying Rich, who's in the chat, shout out to Flying Rich. He has a link there, free CRS Firearms. He's got that out there too. I don't know if Rich is coming on or John is coming on to explain that, but we had you on because you were one of the first people, I think, if not in the firearms industry, definitely on the suppressor side of that, to accept crypto, specifically Bitcoin. I think at the time, right?
Yeah, and we've continued that. It's not as prevalent on our website anymore. It is an option when you go through checkout, and of course, if somebody wants to pay in some odd species of exchange,
Mm-hmm.
they can just email us. But yeah, that was something that got picked up by a couple of, I think, you know uh, gun writers or firearms writers
Mm-hmm.
early on, because somebody had noticed, oh, this guy has a Bitcoin icon on his page.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that kind of gave us a little bit of attention, because we were taking crypto. I've
Yeah.
always been into finance, so finance and investing. I mean, since I was old enough to buy stock, I think it was like 11 or 12.
Wow. Okay.
But I don't do that anymore, because the stock market's just a casino, and
Mm-hmm.
anyway. That's another conversation.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah. We
again,
could go wherever you want to.
maybe we shouldn't go
We
there.
got 2 hours. We got 2 hours here, man. You know. But yeah, so I thought it's cool. And listen, I think we were talking about this before we started here. I do happen to have a few Tusk, since Tusk actually sponsors this podcast here, and they pay us in Tusk. So I actually have
Okay.
some. I actually have some Tusk, and I was looking on your website because let me see. I'm gonna figure out how to pull your website up here and show it to folks. But I was looking on there because do you make all your suppressors in the universal suppressor format or some of them? And do you want to explain that to the folks out there if they.
Yeah, the universal, or what is the industry standard in my lexicon,
Mm-hmm.
is the 1 3/8 24 rear thread. And so two of our can lines, two of the most popular lines of cans, the rifle cans, the MG series, which is you
Mm-hmm.
see all over our website, and then
Mm-hmm.
the pistol cans.
Mm-hmm.
They all have the 1 3/8 thread in the back, and so it allows it makes sure that anybody who's invested in somebody else's QD system or mounting system should work. I believe there's like one or two that don't work with ours just because the length from the back of the can to the first baffle is too short, and they've got like a long muzzle device or something. But there's very few of those that don't work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's the 1 3/8 24 thread, and that's in all of our cans except for our 50 caliber cans, obviously, and then our MG22, which is a direct thread, rimfire can.
Okay. Yeah, I've got some stuff up here. So there's a bunch of some videos. Your suppressors also look really good. Or
Oh,
silencers. I don't know what you prefer. I don't know if you go between both
I
of
think
those.
the legal verbiage when you're dealing with NFA and ATF is silencers. You write
Okay.
suppressors on any legal document, they'll send
Hmm.
it back and make you change it. I use the term suppression just because it's a little bit more accurate in terms of what's
Okay.
going on. Really
Yeah,
silence.
massive suppressors on here. Let's see. MG41 408, MG38 375, MG.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the business model that, and somebody 20 years from now will probably tell me I was crazy. They might tell me I'm
Hmm.
crazy now, but
Hmm.
we have a very simple and symmetric system for building our cans,
Hmm.
so that we can adapt it to anybody's host firearm.
Okay.
So if you have a 50 Beowulf, we
Hmm.
can make a can for you.
Okay.
So that's why you see a lot of the custom stuff on the site. And there's stuff there's stuff we've done that isn't on the site because
Hmm.
it's crazy stuff. Multiple modules and all this stuff. But
Oh, I see your eight. Yeah, you've got a MP5. You've got a MP5
what we
specific.
did was we adapted the pistol can
Hmm.
with the metric 18 by 1 thread that's on the MP5 SD.
Hmm.
And we changed the internals just a little bit, and so it's a relatively long can, but it goes under the handguard, and it's sexy quiet. And I'll tell you, the MP5s just never get old. And
No, no, those are really cool.
a friend of mine, uh, a gentleman by the name of Michael Lamb, actually
Is that machinery?
got
Is
Michael
that some
Lamb.
of the machinery just popping right there?
I didn't choose my location very well. I'm sitting next to a liquid nitrogen tank,
Oh,
and so yeah, they vent every once in a while. Sorry about
right.
that.
Oh, cool.
It's fun though, because when somebody comes in the shop and we're talking like this,
Right.
that thing that'll vent out of nowhere, and they jump like scalded
Yeah,
cats.
I just said like, what the hell happened over there? Yeah, that was
For
cool.
the uninitiated, it can make you lose control of your
Right.
plumbing.
Yeah, that was
Anyway,
crazy.
but yeah, so a gentleman by Michael Lamb approached me. I think it was last summer, and he's like, "Hey, can you do this?" And so we worked together, and I sent him a few, and the first one didn't work, at all. Really, it didn't fit. And so he sent me up a barrel, and I finally got it to fit, and because it's a pretty tight tolerance in there. And so then once I got that fleshed out, I made it an option. So those aren't like sitting on the shelf; they're made to order,
Okay.
but they are available. And like I said, they're really sexy quiet.
So, do you make integrally suppressed barrels as well, or is that something you guys do?
Not at the moment. We've
Okay.
when I first started, I did a few just like AR platform things, and I've been approached by a few people to do like bolt action construct, integrally suppressed. Which by the time you add the volume and the reflex part of the chamber towards the back, of the firearm towards the receiver, it really does start to add up in terms of displacement. And so there's some tricky things you can do to actually make it really, really quiet.
Hmm.
But again, that's not something we offer. But if there's anybody out there that wants to, develop
Hmm.
or co-develop something like that, I'm game because
Hmm.
that's the kind of stuff I like to play with.
Yeah. It would be interesting to have. I don't know exactly how you would do it. It would be interesting to have an integrally suppressed MP5 barrel.
Yeah, I mean so the MP5 SD is that suppressor's removable
Okay. Hmm.
because 9 millimeters are pretty dirty and full
Oh,
autos are
okay.
dirtier than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. You have to be able to
So,
clean it, service it.
but
Hmm.
it's not technically integral because it's not permanently attached.
Hmm.
But again, even for bolt action stuff, you'd probably want to be able to take it off so you could clean it easier. Both the can and then also the barrel and things like that when you're swabbing out the barrel.
What would you like to see be integrally suppressed, or are you into it?
I can't say I'm into it because I've only ever done a few on AR platforms, and it's kind of cool, but like it doesn't truly excite me like I think the bolt action will. And I haven't tried it yet in bolt action, so I really don't know.
Okay.
I've seen a few, and I've shot one, and they are, the balance of the firearm is altogether different because you don't have this, tube sticking off the muzzle. And then so you can really shorten the system. So you could do like a 16.5-inch system that, sounds great and, isn't it's totally like, it's not an ethical, it's only one stamp instead of two stamps, for short barrel stuff. But you could do something like that, and that would be really crazy, having a short barrel system, but with a integral or permanently mounted suppressor, so you can make the 16.5-inch length and have maybe like a 14 or 12-inch barrel inside.
Yeah.
But it works at any length, and so it just makes it a more compact unit. And depending on the materials you use, you could probably make it pretty light.
Yeah. Left to my own devices, I would have everything be bullpup and integrally suppressed.
Right. Yeah, those short, stiff barrels can really surprise you in terms of accuracy. I call it the medieval torture device for cans. I have a 338 Lapua that we use for proof loads, and it's a 16.5-inch barrel. So there's a lot of combustion going on in the can, and we want to really make sure, whether we're sorry about that. Whether we're
no, that's a cool
well,
effect. That's like a weird wave effect on your face. So obviously Steve is using his phone, and someone's trying to call him right now.
I wish I could turn it off, but if I turn it off, I might turn you off too, and then that'd mess everything up. So
yeah, no, that's cool.
But anyway, so the 16.5-inch 338 Lapua is something we use to really torture suppressors. When we want to make sure baffle thickness is good, welds are good, all this other stuff. If we change anything, we typically take our whatever we change and take it out to the range and just try to break it. But on a side note, that 16, it's a 1 1/4 inch barrel OD straight. There's no taper to it. 16.5 inches. The thing shoots great. I mean, it's like between a 3 and 4/10 of a minute, gun. And I never really did any load development because most of the loads are proof loads, so they're overcharged.
Yeah. Man, there's so many ways we could go here. What's the most frequent custom order or thing I guess you get in? I mean, saying it, I guess you get a lot of different stuff. So
yeah, on the MGX listing, and the MGX is a special just model designation for our custom cans, and you can jump online and you can order, the from the mount to 3 to 15 baffles, your custom bore, and then your end cap. You can have a threaded end cap. You can have a muzzle brake end cap. You can basically just, the sky's the limit. I guess there's a limit somewhere under the sky, but it's close to the sky. And the most popular version of that is it's the MGX 308 with 8 baffles. That's like it's one baffle shy of being directly in between the MG10 308 and the MG7 308. So 6 and 12 baffles respectively. So the most popular custom is an 8 baffle 308. That's by far. I mean, we actually make them and put them on the shelf because we sell enough of them in over the course of a few months or a year that it makes sense to stock them.
Yeah. And I know you've got some cool things there to show us. I can't remember. Do you show the factory or the floor, or do you not show the floor?
I've got a lot going on, and so with all the stuff we have here, I try to limit the exposure, especially on a live stream or anywhere else for that matter. But I'm a little paranoid in that regard. But I've got a few things I can show you here. I mean, we've got some 50 cal cans. I've got a few firearms here and the shotgun.
In a sec, in about 2 minutes here, I think when we when we switch. Actually, I think in about a couple of minutes we're going to switch to news, which there's a whole bunch of different news going on for everyone who's out there watching us. And I would ask the folks who are out there in the chat, in Utreon, right under the title, there's an arrow up there. So if you can, hit that arrow up. I don't know whether or not. Well, obviously you're on your phone, so um, you can't see that.
No, I guess I leave it
Yeah,
to you to pick, to cherry pick and give me the best
yeah.
one.
D Stands is out there. She's waving at you. There you go. I'm assuming you know who D is.
That's not
No.
ringing any bells. They're
No?
probably like,
Okay.
why
Yeah.
isn't Skyrim? What's
Right.
the name?
D Stands.
Doesn't ring.
Or I
I'm
mean that
sorry.
could, I don't know, that could be a dude. I don't know. I'm just assuming, right? I'm assuming
Right.
that that's a woman, but I could be completely wrong. Um so there you go. Shout out to everyone who's out there. And I see Richard Hughes, like I said, sharing this news about CRS Firearms. So we'll get into that somewhere here. We got like 40 seconds, and then we're gonna switch over to the news stuff, and I'm gonna pull up some of the news. There's a whole bunch of there's quite a few different things going on in the gun world here that that everyone's talking about. So I know there was the news last night that the ATF is going after people with the wide open triggers and the FRT. So I guess D Stan says he, laugh out loud, just a faithful viewer. So there you go. See, that's what I get for assuming.
Well, no, but it's like, I don't know if you can see the panic, but it's like, oh boy, I know this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
So
Let's
I don't
go
want
to.
to be.
Walther Arms has been making concealed carry handguns for over 90 years, starting with the PPK. Today, Walther is based in the good old US of A and still builds quality firearms like the PPQ and PDP for personal defense and competition. So when you're in the market, please consider Walther Arms. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Walther Arms. All right, there we go. Boom. There you go. I know this is the first time you're seeing that. This is something I've like set myself that every 20 minutes, we kind of get into a different thing here. So, uh, there you go. So we're in the news. We're in the news thing. Do you have any news before I get into the new stuff that's going on? Bearing in mind, like, I don't even know where to pull this news stuff up from. Go ahead.
So just, the basic political train wreck that we see pretty much every day,
Right.
but in terms of actual firearm industry news is just that ATF thing or whatever that, they don't like the, the mechanical run on machine guns, in
Right.
terms of their legal definition.
Yes, so I think I could pull that up from AmmoLand. Let me pull up AmmoLand here. We're trying to get John Crump on, but it looks like from what I'm hearing, uh, John's busy. So let's see if we can get. I can pull this up and I could share this on my phone. We'll pull the phone up here. Leaked emails. So that's what we're talking about. And let me go this way so you guys can see better. Leaked email shows further ATF crackdowns on force reset triggers. And this is by John Crump. And I think we have Flying Rich dialing in right now. So I will. Yeah. So, hey, hold on a second. Hey, Rich. Let's see if I could pull him up here on the screen. There we go. We'll pull Rich up and. Yeah, so this is an article from John Crump. It says, according to a leaked email obtained by Gun Owners of America, the BATF is about to crack down on forced reset triggers such as the rare breed FRT-15 and the wide open trigger. The ATF has given its field agents the green light to seize all force reset triggers from manufacturers, distributors, and dealers. The ATF will request that the business voluntarily turn over the force reset triggers to field agents. If the stores do not turn over the triggers, then the ATF will provide the company with a consent to forfeiture of property and waiver notice. This document says that the company is choosing to turn the stock over to the ATF and release. No, if the stores do turn it over, excuse me. The document says that the company is choosing to turn the stock over to the ATF and releases all rights to the property. The business cannot sue for the return of the items. If the business refuses to turn the triggers to the Bureau, agents are instructed to seize the items from the companies for forfeiture. This choice gives the company more legal standing to sue over confiscation. So, I mean, it goes on here. So, and then there's like a "we told you so" thing down here, which I know John has been doing a lot of reporting on this, and obviously people are always. This is one of the things, Steve, in the gun world, when people are putting stuff out there that things are coming out or things are about to happen, there's always companies denying that it's about to happen, which I guess I get it.
Yeah, I don't understand how it's like the bump stock thing under Trump, and it was just they make it up, and it's just some arbitrary and capricious notion or guidance or whatever they want to call their legalisms, and then they take people's property, and men with guns come and take property. I mean, it's
and shoot your dogs if they need to, if they feel they need to.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was shooting you. I mean, if you present any kind of resistance, right? I mean, they have a monopoly on force, not you. I mean, I don't see how that's, if you're not doing harm, okay, criminality has a harm test. I'm no lawyer, but I'm just a thinker, okay? So if it doesn't cause harm, or if somebody's not using it to cause harm, where's the criminality again?
Yeah. Control. I think why are you muted? Rich? For some reason, Rich is muted. Not sure.
Because my microphone wasn't on. That's
right.
Hey,
welcome to the show, Rich. By the way, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So we all know how many crimes force reset triggers have been used in.
Right. Yeah.
0. Big goose egg. Yep. Yeah. So this thing has been floating. So the drama of this, I don't know if either one of you guys are following the drama. Are you, Steve? You following any of the drama?
I am on a low drama diet.
Right. Okay. So I think the FRT was first, and then somehow the FRT was licensed to a company here locally in Gainesville that we shall not name just because I'm not even in the mood. And those guys made their own version, which I think is the wide open trigger. Am I right on that?
As far as I know, that sounds correct.
Yeah, then they got into a lawsuit because obviously they jacked those guys' patent up, and I know that there was like an injunction or something that they won against these companies. Well, then the other day, I think the ATF visited that local company, and now we're seeing this stuff go out there, and there may be folks out there who innocently and perfectly, in my opinion, legally bought these things. Yeah, and there might be people visiting you, especially if there's paperwork tracking back to it.
Well, and what we've talked about, or what other people have talked about that are knowledgeable on this, is it doesn't even require the company that manufactures or sell these to turn over their documents. They can go to stamps.com, the USPS, and say, hey, you have packages this big, where'd they go? And they're scanning. Like, I get an email every day of all the mail and packages that are going to be coming to me. They scan it. So there's a record of where the mail is originating and where it's going.
They have interesting ways of finding you.
So it's not even like Firearms Unknown, those guys. Their computer system had some horrific corruption, and the ATF was not able to get their client list.
Okay.
But you can figure it out other ways.
Yeah, are you saying their email list fell overboard because of a boating accident?
Horrible boating accident on their data, on their hard drive.
Yes.
Cruiseman Hillary Clinton's email server.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they went there.
Well, if that was the case, they would nicely ask for it, give her 6 months to delete them and shred the hard drive.
Right.
Just to wipe it with a cloth.
Yeah.
That's what they said as far as wiping the data.
Cruiseman says, "My mama said no drama, no drama." My mama said no drama.
You're on the wrong planet for that.
That's from the Waterboy. That was my Waterboy impersonation. I don't know if that was good. Mama said no drama. That my mama said, Does anyone remember The Waterboy? I was looking at that recently. That's what's stuck in my head.
Oh yeah, that's a funny movie.
Yeah, yeah. My favorite part is when the professor, he was like in class or something, and the professor says, "Okay, let's see what Mama has to say on the subject." Okay, so um, should people be worried out there? What do you guys think is coming out of this here?
I would say yes. I'm not sure what the guidance is
Hmm.
on how do you talk to the ATF about it. I again, there's probably somebody that has some legal advice on this. I'm not a lawyer, so I
Hmm.
can't tell you what to do. But
None of us are lawyers.
one,
Yeah.
lying to a Fed is a crime. So I would pretty much, if any kind of Fed came to my door, I'd say, "Are you my lawyer?" And if they say no, I can't talk to you. You need to talk to my lawyer.
Amen.
There you go.
And they will try to engage you in conversation and get you. Is your name Richard Hughes? You say, "Talk to my lawyer."
Hmm.
The answer is talk to my lawyer on every question and anything they say.
Good
Or
advice.
am I
Because
being charged with a crime?
Hmm.
right,
That's a good icebreaker.
Hmm.
am I being
Right.
detained? Am I
Yeah.
being and just the the only thing you should say is talk to my lawyer.
Hmm. Yeah.
Before
Um.
everybody gets scared, though, I mean,
Hmm.
hopefully there will be some kind of uh, communication from existing either just class 3 dealers or the mom and pop shops as far as, oh yeah, ATF was here and oh yeah, they were looking for these FRTs and all this other stuff.
Hmm.
Before everybody gets their proverbial thong in a wad, this
Hmm.
is how the government operates. It's a hammer looking for a nail,
Hmm.
and this is just a big old juicy nail that they want to knock down.
Hmm.
But let's see where it goes. I mean, there's nothing we can do. We're out here innovating. We're out here making business happen.
Yeah.
The government doesn't produce anything. It
No.
doesn't make anything. If you look at GDP, half of it could go away because all it is what they take from the makers.
Yeah. They
And
Yes.
they
they're
don't make
they're-
anything and they don't solve problems. They create. If anything, they
they're-
create problems. But yeah.
right.
Hmm.
But I'm a type 7 with a class 2 special occupational tax. I pay a special tax. I kiss the ring so I can play with all these fun things and then,
Hmm.
sell them business to business and to dealers and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So if I have a FRT sitting here on my bench, and they say it's a machine gun part, well, I already pay a tax to have that. So are you going to come take it?
Hmm.
Like this right here, this is registered to me. This is a Chris Vector. This is a fully automatic Chris
It's very
Vector.
very sexy.
Fun
Yeah.
ass toy.
Yeah.
But it's legally on my books and it's on the NFA registry. So
Hmm.
the FRTs aren't an NFA registered item because they don't fit the legal definition of a machine gun. But let's just see where it goes. I hate to see anybody's rights get trampled, but let's see them get. I mean, does anybody know other than the company itself, that got raided or got the guy that got arrested? I mean, private businesses that got raided.
Yeah.
FRT had a statement today on Instagram.
Okay. What was their statement?
It goes on about 10 minutes, and basically they're saying that there's a document out there, it has been verified, which, you can believe what you want.
Hmm.
They also said that there's reports out there of at least one, and there's an unconfirmed 3 FFLs that have been raided.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
Okay. All right.
So it
Hmm.
appears that there is a lot of action occurring,
Hmm.
and I don't wish ill on anyone. I'm not, you know, it seems to me I was kind of surprised that FRT, Rare Breed itself wasn't rated today. It seems like if other FFLs are getting rated, Rare Breed will very likely be rated in the coming days.
At some point,
And
you're
again,
going to
I'm
get
not
their
saying
ratings
that
that you
you
want it.
know no,
Yeah.
thank you. I don't. I think all of this is a load of stinking crap.
Hmm.
It's an infringement on our rights. I realistically, a force reset trigger is forcibly reset and moving, and therefore doesn't meet the definition of a machine gun.
Right.
They
Unless the government can
just-
keep moving the goalposts on the definitions of their laws. So now,
Yeah.
is this a good thing in terms of, I'm just trying to put a silver lining on it. Is it a good thing in terms of at least now there could be challenges to this, and maybe at some point here, we can get the Supreme Court, I don't know. We haven't been able to get them to take up anything, but I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Is it a waste of time?
The process is the punishment.
Yeah.
I don't know, because those wheels turn very slowly, and of course it needs to be pursued. And I pray for the people who are going to be involved, who are going to be the litigants in that particular case, or the defendants, as it were. It basically, it's bullying.
Yeah.
That's what
Yes.
it is. It's just bullying.
It absolutely is. But look, it's all fun and games until you get locked up. Like, I mean, we can say whatever we want to.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's all fun and games until your door's getting kicked in.
That's right.
And you're getting locked up. Then it's not so much fun anymore.
Then it's not America then.
No, it's not. It's not. I agree with you on that. And I know there's some other things, just to segue a little bit into this other, in the next segment we could talk about this at length if we want to, but there's some other news breaking stuff. Rich, do you want to fill us in on that?
Sure. So Matt Hoover, CRS Firearms, I know Matt, I've never met him, but I've talked to him on the phone. He was involved with Auto Keycard, and he did a couple of things with them. He's a YouTuber. He took advertising money from them. He promoted their product. I believe he ran a giveaway, and he gave away some of their products. And when Auto Keycard, the owner, I have to look up his name, got arrested, he ran a GoFundMe for the guy. I believe his wife started the GoFundMe, and then they transferred it to the guy's father, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
Matt, this morning,
that guy's still in prison, right? Or
apparently,
whatever.
apparently in Florida in prison. So, give it a little background on this. Matt's wife got subpoenaed to appear in Florida over the summer in front of a grand jury, and they went down to Florida. She testified, and then they went back. Now, what happened this morning is Matt got arrested by the U.S. Marshals, and I believe he's being brought to Florida. I could be wrong. He's not out. They haven't released him yet, and they're charging him with conspiracy. So the conspiracy was that he took advertising money from the Auto Keycard people of a product that, as far as we know, is still legal. It's not even
But how
like
is it?
the FRT.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So it's a card. It wasn't like laser cut with perfs on it. It was a card with like an etching. So it was basically art. It wasn't, as far as I'm concerned, it's First Amendment art. It wasn't a device.
I think we can all agree on that. I mean, art is what an art is something made by an artist, and calling it art.
And it wasn't readily convertible.
Right.
You'd have to, get out there with a Dremel and work pretty hard to make that into something. And at that point, you could have. I mean, if
you could have done that anyway, you could have just downloaded that from someplace or done anything.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about
what if I take my suppressor designs and put them in the public domain? Then what?
But in that,
they say it's a conspiracy that I want everybody to make suppressors, or legally or not.
Yeah, and then if someone, and then let's say like myself or Rich come along and advertise that you put your stuff in the public domain, like, oh, conspiracy, you bastards, you're trying to distribute.
That's like the anarchist cookbook. I mean, what's in the anarchist cookbook, and probably every stinking library in the United States has it, is worse, much worse.
Yeah.
I mean, if you file a patent and you make a public disclosure so you can get, protection on your intellectual property, you're publishing diagrams and workings, and you're justifying and defending this utility and all this thing. So how is that different? I mean, so you're going to make money on a patent, or you're going to at least try, right? And so this guy sells a picture of a seer, and that's like a conspiracy.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
understand that. I
Right.
mean, isn't anything that you patent anyway publicly available?
Yes,
Yeah.
because you can download all the documents.
Yeah, so I could go get any
Which
patent out there and print it, can't I?
It's better than having a book in the library.
Yeah. That's the whole point.
And somebody's holding your hand verbally and telling you how to assemble it, how it works, and all these things and the intricacies. I mean, it's like it's a trade-off for putting it. The government gives you some legal protection, a compartment or a domain for a short period of time on some idea, but the cost of that is putting it in the public domain so people can it's to like have a a knock-on effect for ideas, and that's a great thing. It's I don't believe in patents anyway, but they're there, and it's you got to get you got to if somebody else, because there's patent trolls, somebody will take your idea and patent it and then take it away from it.
Yes, and further development is always killed by people basically using those patents to fight other people, and or like getting lawyers and suing anyone that tries to make a derivative of that, and then it all gets crazy.
Yeah, and the lawyers get rich, and the bureaucrats get to keep their job, and the politicians keep getting reelected.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're probably going to take a break here in a second, but before we get to that, we've got 40 seconds. What can people do to help out Matt? Yeah, we're gonna get involved in a conspiracy here now.
Yeah, so if you Google Matt Hoover GoFundMe or GoFundMe Matt Hoover, you'll find the link. But I just dropped the link in your chat again. So there's a GoFundMe for Matt Hoover. Let's see. They're trying to raise 50 grand. John Crump is working his tail off, getting Matt legal representation and help. The GoFundMe just started today.
We'll be right back here in a second. Hold on. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Barnaul Ammo. Barnaul has a wide range of reliable, quality steel case ammo for small game, large game, target shooting, and self-defense. They've got the classics like 7.62 and 5.45, as well as 9mm all the way up to 308. Subsonic as well. So when you're in the market, please consider Barnaul Ammo. All right, there you go. We are back. Do you see how organized I am over here, Steve?
It's great. Nice. That's freaking amazing.
Yeah, there's at least tens of people seeing the organization. I think we've got over 100 people. I know Steve was asking me this. And we're in the Gorn section. We'll show Gorn here in a second after we talk about this, or we'll push that over to another section. I think we've got on Utreon, we've got over 100 people subscribed to us here, and then we have what is it? I have to look at the numbers on Who Moved My Freedom, and then we got a bunch of different things out there, and I know people are starting to figure out where everything went to, but stuff is going over to the Who Moved My Freedom podcast on YouTube as well. What they don't delete. Some of the things we got some stuff deleted.
Crap.
Yeah, we got, I think recently they deleted a video because we were saying that the elections were crap. So, yeah, shame on us. They were crap. But if they say elections are crap, then it's totally fine.
What was the lady in Georgia that thinks she's governor of Georgia? What's her name?
Yeah, exactly. So what I was going to ask you about that, with this GoFundMe, I saw someone, and I did repost the link for that, and actually,
thank you.
Rich is putting it in the text here. Someone commented and said that they need to not use the GoFundMe because the account will be locked. Have you guys thought about any of that yet?
That's our best information right now is the GoFundMe. It started by Matt's wife, and actually it started 4 hours ago. So Erica started the GoFundMe. They're trying to raise 50 grand, which is pretty much just the door opener to get the legal fund moving. They're at $28,710 right now. So 658 people donated. So that's crazy good. But this is a big deal. Crump is mad, and Crump is stirring up a hornet's nest.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of that will have to settle out. I think it's true that at some point, there's going to be folks out there who figure out that we're trying to help. This is like really crazy. You know, if people burn down cities, they create GoFundMes, and
Oh,
those
heck
people
yeah.
get
Yeah.
money. But if we try
Yeah.
to get legal representation for someone, which they're entitled to legal representation, but it costs money,
Right.
Yes.
Right.
then we're evil for doing that. Lola said we have 132 followers on Utreon and 2
Cool.
subscribers. You can actually subscribe to us on Utreon and give us some money. You know,
Right
which
on.
we
Which is better than Patreon, their model.
yes,
So that's
absolutely.
how the name Utreon came around.
We're
It's
building it.
like
We're building it.
YouTube and Patreon.
Yes. So there you go.
I feel
Go ahead.
bad for everybody in the firearms community because, you know, in the social media landscape, we're just a bunch of nomads. It's like the Book of Exodus. Like we're wandering
Oh, sure,
in the desert
sure.
You're so
because
right. You're so right.
everybody's
That's
so active. It's like, ooh, look, a gun, ooh, ooh, ooh. You know,
Yeah.
and
evil.
what-
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, you're so right, Steve. Yeah. What did we do? Like we're literally talking about stuff that has to do. There's literally something in the Constitution about what we're talking about, but we're evil.
Two. The one is the right to say it. The second
Yeah.
one is the right to defend it.
What is the deal? What is the deal going on?
But I'm just talking about the social media, landscape. It's just
Mhm.
it really is. It's just like it's almost biblical at this point. Like you can't play with anybody else because of firearms.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so listen, let's who says that he subscribed. Oh, hold on. Why is Fatboy Slim joining? Okay. Who is Fatboy Slim? Oh boy. Hold on. We got Fatboy Slim joining us here. I feel like I have an idea of who Fatboy Slim. Oh, there he
Oh,
goes.
Fatboy Slim. Hey, buddy.
John Crump.
Hey, what is up?
Yes,
Hold on, I'm
welcome.
trying to get
Yeah,
this fixed.
there
Sorry.
we go. Okay, look at that. John Crump back on the Who Moved My Freedom podcast.
John
Yeah,
heard
yeah,
I was
long
trying to
time.
steal his spotlight, and boom, he jumped
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Now, give me 1 second here, guys. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to get this fixed.
Yeah, so Steve or anyone else who doesn't know, John Crump works. He writes articles for AmmoLand, does a whole bunch of different stuff out there to keep the news flowing. We're looking at his ceiling for some reason.
I'm trying to get everything working here.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably better. All right.
All right.
Can you hear
So
me?
yes, we can hear you. You want to fill us in on what's going on here, John?
My watch.
What did you say?
He's hearing you through the watch.
Oh,
He's Bluetoothing through the watch.
you're supposed to be a tech guy, so you need to work that out.
I want to be an Amish tech guy.
Hey, man, I got my own app.
Oh, you got it going now?
I have my own app now, by the way.
Oh, congratulations to you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, listen. So John
It's a
Crump.
Crumpy app.
Oh, the Crumpy app? Okay, send us a link. We'll be happy to promote the Crumpy app. Tell us what's going on here. What's happening?
It's on Google.
Okay, now he looks delayed. Let me see. Can you hear
I have
the
no
words?
idea what the hell is going on with my...
Yeah. If anyone has bad internet, it's supposed to be me, not you. And the rest of us, we're all coming in clear. You guys can hear me loud and clear, right?
Yep. Yeah, you're good.
Fine.
Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's this stupid guest thing.
Yeah.
All right, we can just do it this way. This is fun.
Yeah. Let me.
I don't have a lot of time. I've been working on some stuff and been helping out people.
Right. So tell us what's going on. Just we'll just let you talk. Tell us what's happening with CRS Firearms first of all.
Okay. Today CRS was going to film a video, and he got intercepted by U.S. Marshals, who arrested him. We got the indictment. The indictment is for conspiracy. If you don't know, he was sponsored by Auto Keycard. So the conspiracy was that basically that he was sponsored by Auto Keycard. That was the whole entire conspiracy, that they paid him money to advertise Auto Keycard. So they're considering that conspiracy. And then another thing that they're saying is that because he started the legal defense fund for Justin Irving, the owner of Auto Keycard, that's also conspiracy.
Conspiracy.
So he went to court
to do what? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So he went to court today, and the court recommended that he would be released on his own recognizance because he has to go down to Florida to stand trial.
Mm-hmm.
And the state objected, saying that he already obstructed justice because he got married.
Okay.
The marriage obstruction.
Okay. All right. So where is he right now?
He is in a Milwaukee jail.
Okay. And are they transferring him to Florida? I think Rich was saying something about Florida.
What?
Yeah, is he being transferred to Florida? Is this where's this going?
Yeah, he's eventually be transferred to Florida. He has hearing tomorrow at 9:30 local time, and that's going to determine whether he gets released, or if he doesn't get released, he gets transferred down to Florida.
Okay. All right. And we also, like I was saying, I got a comment when I shared the GoFundMe on Facebook of someone saying that we have to be careful giving the money to GoFundMe because they could potentially block that or hold the money. What do you know about that?
They could, but eventually the money will get either returned or through. Yeah,
do we have an alternative?
The best way.
Yeah.
There's going to be some announcements tomorrow with some other funding that's coming in.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I really, I guess this is one of the things we kind of have to figure out, at least in the firearms community. What do we do about stuff like this, right? Because the powers that be could say something can happen to one of us. People are trying to put money together. Oh, they're trying to save this bad guy. I mean, this is literally, it feels like one of those infinite mirrors. We're looking into an infinite mirror because it's literally what Matt was trying to do.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing, so like John and I, we do a show and it's sponsored by JSD. I mean, which is an 80% firearm company. Or they could say, JSD is evil. They could just as easily ban JSD and say we're conspiracy, whatever.
Well, yeah. Well, how about everyone that's sponsored by BDU? Right. They sell they sold wide open triggers.
Yeah. Or listen,
are all those people going to be guilty of conspiracy?
This actually happened to me with PayPal. PayPal banned me for life because we had
your private account.
Yes, we had they banned. I can't do any kind of account, but they banned me for life because we had a company that makes Kydex holsters. They don't make guns, they make holsters, and they were sponsoring the podcast, and they paid me through PayPal, and I got banned for life. We confirmed that because Lola created a PayPal, it was approved, all that kind of stuff, and then they went to pay Lola, and they banned her for life. So
watching that.
Yeah. And this is a crazy kind of thing. Like, I mean, and there's nothing you could do about that with PayPal. Like, whatever money was there is there. They've frozen it for, I don't know, this has been years now that happened.
Oh, no way.
That's not a big deal.
That's messed up.
They return. It'll lock up your money for 180 days or something, and they send you a check because they can't keep your money.
They never returned it. It's what now? Here's the thing. I always took stuff out of there because I didn't trust it. But whatever was in there, they never returned. They won't answer any questions about it. They won't. Don't.
Oh yeah, you can reach anybody.
That happens to you a lot.
Right.
Because you drove another incident where we try to get your money out of something else.
Right. Yes. Constantly. That kind of stuff's So this is why I say we have to figure this out before we get, which obviously we're here already, how do we do this without these people getting in the way?
Cryptocurrencies comes to mind, in terms of the fungibility and everything, and the
Mm-hmm.
permissionless that it is.
Mm-hmm.
Benjamin Franklin said it best. We have to all hang together, or we will surely hang individually.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
we need a back channel. And
Mm-hmm.
I would gladly give my private email address and even my cell phone number to a list of other makers and other shakers in the industry, so that we have our own network for just such an occasion where FRTs are magically illegal all of a sudden, and
Mm-hmm.
raids and all this horse crap.
Craziness, yeah.
That's important. And then supporting somebody who's already been a victim of this bullying,
Mm-hmm.
because I would write a check and send a check, give me a post office box or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't, maybe they'll start intercepting that. They can't intercept Bitcoin or any other type of cryptocurrency. So
Mm-hmm.
that's between a network, an encrypted network, hopefully, so it can't be monitored,
Mm-hmm.
or unless
Well,
somebody wanted, to give that information out. It's not like it's a secret conspiracy, but of course everything's a conspiracy now. So, but at
Absolutely.
least
well,
Mm-hmm. Go ahead,
can I
John.
just correct you on one point?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'll let Rich correct you.
Why? Why?
About cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly traceable.
Yeah, that's the problem.
but it's
It's
unstoppable.
not a crypto as far as obscuring who's doing the transactions,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the problem. That's publicly inspectable.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
why the Russian hackers that
secrecy
stole the money, they didn't get any money because of that.
Okay.
right, and they can. I mean, look at Silk Road. I mean, it's just like the Tor network too. You can set up nodes that are going to capture
Yeah.
people and locate their IPs and stuff like that. It's not necessarily a function of secrecy. It's a function of being able to. It's permissionless and you can't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, decentralized. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right about that. That is good. Well,
Yeah.
a good thing about like locals, I started the locals. I'm going away from Patreon and going to locals.
Mm-hmm.
And locals actually has the ability for people to donate Bitcoin to you.
Okay. Yeah.
You can put a Bitcoin wallet in there, and they can donate Bitcoin. They can buy Bitcoin right there and just donate it right to you, which is
Right.
nice.
Yeah, I mean, the only problem that you would run into is if Bitcoin, for some reason, decides to start supporting whatever's going on there, right?
Well, they can't.
Mm-hmm. No, they can't?
Bitcoin is decentralized. You can't shut it. They can't
Okay.
control what it's used for.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So
So
Bitcoin
Lolo,
would have been rated if it was a company.
Mm-hmm.
Long time ago. I mean, that Bitcoin is a mathematically immutable network of energy,
Okay.
and it's only as good as the cryptographic relationship between the public and private keys. As long as that stays mathematically impenetrable, Bitcoin will always have value.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Lola is asking Rich, like, it's because I think Rich said blockchain is publicly
so
inspectable, and she said by who?
by everyone.
Yeah,
by everyone.
Everyone.
So
You
you
have-
could
you
go
have like,
you could go blockchain inspect right now, or like even TUSC, which is easy. So it's TUSC.network, and you can see the transactions going by.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I saw Crumpy move a stink load of TUSC one day.
Right.
Yeah, he called me up. He's like, "Why did you transfer 150 million TUSC?"
Yeah, he's watching you. He's got eyes on you.
I said,
Yeah.
"F you." That's why.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what? This is why we need stuff like this. Okay, so I know that we're going into the Gorn. We'll shift that over. Okay, so on that story, right now you're directing people to GoFundMe, right?
Yeah, that's all we have right now. I think tomorrow you're gonna see some announcements of some pretty major donors because this is a lot more. This is affecting a lot more than just CRS. And we're
Okay.
asking the creators out there, if you can make one video, let me know. I have control of the CRS's channel right now because this is how he feeds his family, is through YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking like Reno May is going to make a video, and some other people are going to make a video, and we're just asking like creators out there to make one video, and we'll upload it to his channel, and we'll link back to your channel, and just keep it rolling that way.
Absolutely. Maybe I'll just take this little section right here and somehow make it into something. How's that?
You
That's
can,
cool.
but hey, I gotta get my kids to sleep.
All right, cool. All right, listen. Do you want to quickly? Was there anything on the FRT wide open trigger situation?
I think Rare Breed put out a statement. All I gotta say to you, Hank, and you would probably get this more than anyone else, but SB Tactical.
Okay, right. I get it. Yeah, you were talking about this a long time ago. No one wanted to hear what you had to say. I know.
Funny then you get attacked.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, listen. Go take care of the kids. We appreciate you taking the time to dial in here. What's up?
But one more thing. A couple weeks ago, when I called you, you called me, I said this is exactly like the SB Tactical situation.
Yes, you also said that all of this was going to happen. And I just sat back and waited to hear about it. To be honest with you, I mean, what else?
Yeah.
What else can we do, right?
Nothing.
Yeah,
you can't make people listen, right?
Yeah, in our community, I was having this conversation, I think, before we started, right, Steve? I think we had a conversation like this. People, the function of someone like John Crump, he could do other stuff and make a lot of money. He cares about the firearms community. He's genuinely trying to help us at his own risk, and he's just trying to help us. But we have this kind of mentality sometimes of kill the messenger.
Hey guys,
right.
I just want to let you know.
Yeah, just listen to the messenger. Even if you don't believe it, listen to you don't have to attack the messenger, destroy the messenger. I don't know. Like for me, I take information. I go, okay, let me bear that in mind, and wait and see what happens. But at least function with this knowledge that someone has given me, and pay attention to what's
pretty good track record too.
Yeah, I think so, man. I don't think you do this to be salacious. I think you enjoy being right. I'm not gonna,
I do enjoy.
You've got a smug smile on your face right now.
but I don't like the situation. But
none of us do, man. But
no,
I say to you, keep doing what you do. That's what I'm telling you. Keep doing what you do.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate thank you for all your support.
You're welcome, my friend.
Like, I listed some people that supported me through everything, and you have always been there, Hank, and I really appreciate that.
You're welcome, my friend. And I love you. You're awesome. We're going to take a break so you can jump out if you need to, man. Take care of the kids. All right. With Arms List, you can shop the extensive list of local and nationwide firearms classified, now with more confidence because of their built-in firewall. For only $6.99 a month for personal use, or $30 a month for business vendors. So when you're in the market, please consider Arms List. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of great companies like Arms List. Okay, so we are back here. Okay, guys, comment.
Well, it's crazy to me. One conspiracy is, accepting money to advertise. Conspiracy is, raising money for somebody's legal defense. And obstruction of justice is getting married.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, there's some legal precedents here that should be explored. I mean, it's like I woke up in a different world. I don't understand any of the conspiracy stuff. I mean, conspiracy, two or more people acting, or plotting a crime. Where was the crime? What crime did they intend to commit? Like, if all three of us.
Advertising.
What was that?
Advertising.
Yeah. I mean, so right, advertising what? I mean, so yeah, it's so much nonsense. I feel bad. I mean, it's obviously got massive repercussions for this poor man and his family. So I'd love to support. I don't want it to be intercepted by GoFundMe or whatever the crap is.
Absolutely.
But this is what I was saying before about having a list of all the manufacturers and stuff, and all the people who are the big players, the distributors, anybody, because knowledge is the power. Knowing that these things are going on is the catalyst to unite.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot to that, and I think I've been saying it, and I know other people have been saying for a long time. We kind of have to have our own ecosystem or our own network or
and
something
Dan
like
Bongino
that.
talks a lot about that. So I don't know if you're tracking that. I do follow Dan Bongino.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a friend. I don't mean that in a negative way. I've met him, shook his hand, he signed an autograph. That's as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a fellow Floridian, and he's been on YouTube, and for the longest time, he said, "Hey, YouTube, cancel me. Please cancel me." And finally, they did, because he spread "quote unquote" misinformation. I guess something the CDC said and then didn't say and then said again,
Mm-hmm.
and so they pulled him off YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on Rumble, and he always talks about that we need our own economy. We need our own credit card processing. We need our own version of YouTube, and he supported Rumble. He was also involved in Parler. So he's worked, personally on things to handle a parallel economy that's not cancelable, and it's welcome to everybody. It's not, just conservatives. It's welcome for everybody to play in. And I think we need to have a better idea. And it's crazy that like you're getting paid for holster advertising on PayPal, and a holster is a holster. It's not.
It's totally
It's not.
innocent. I mean,
It's
a gun on its
absolutely. It's
own is
not a
completely
controlled.
innocent, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
It kind of
It's not
smacks of the
controlled.
civil rights, issues. It's like
Right.
did in the late 50s and early 60s, where they say, hey, let's get a parallel economy going and just ignore all the
Amen.
the white people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like all the minorities. Forcing somebody into a parallel economy is civil injustice for any reason.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
It absolutely is.
The people who commit crime, like just say organized crime for lack of a better term, they can't adjudicate or go to lawyers and sue and all these things. So they have to use violence as a medium of exchange in terms of dealing with their own problems inside the organization. But we're not doing anything illegal. So how
We're
can
not
we
criminals. We're not criminals. I mean, everyone here on
right?
this panel, and including John that was just here on the panel, how are we criminals? How are we bad guys? We're family. We're people that have families. We're professional. We pay tax. We do all these kinds of things. Yeah, but we're the bad guys simply because we believe in people having the right to defend themselves and people being able to do commerce around that right to defend yourself, right? If you can't make your own firearms yourself and someone can make it, they should be able to make money for making this and helping you to defend yourself.
Yeah, and that's so. It just. I'm not trying to say it's the same thing as the
Mm-hmm.
civil rights movement, but it just has it's got this background that kind of seems like that. Like
I think it's very
But it is a
similar.
civil right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's very
it's a
simple.
constitutional right. It recognizes a pre-existing right that came from God or your humanity.
Thank you.
I mean, so the most important word in the First Amendment of the Constitution is the right. I'm stealing this from Judge Napolitano, but it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
When you say the right, it means it existed before the document that's codified. Okay, so, but beyond that, all this nonsense is it's rapid encroachment into and onto our rights. It's ludicrous,
And it's crazy to think of. It's crazy to think of where it ends. And look, it is very similar to if so for example, PayPal telling me that I can't do business with someone who's in the firearms industry is not very different from me as a let's say, I go into a hotel and they say we don't want any black people staying in this hotel. We've
Absolutely.
decided we don't want to do that. Like PayPal can't say this thing that you're doing, we don't like it. It's not illegal. It's not illegal. As a matter of fact, it's covered by the Constitution. You know, you're not breaking any laws, you're not a criminal, but we don't like you doing it, so we don't want you to do it. That's exactly like someone saying, well, we don't want you to stay in this hotel because you're white, or you're a woman, or you're this thing or that thing.
Or
Just
you're gay,
yeah,
or you
Right.
identify as a plant, or you're a furry, or whatever the frig they call them now.
yeah.
I mean, you know, as if Thomas Jefferson said, if it doesn't pick my pocket or break my leg, it's not a crime.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right. Right.
and it is just a wild, and it just seems to be accelerating. You know, the encroachments, and it's the corporate government kind of synergy and hybridization. You know, because these mega, and I don't want to get like conspiratorial. They might knock on my door,
Mm-hmm.
but they work almost on behalf of the government in terms of data collection and data sharing.
Well, the media and the
And
corporations.
Yeah.
they're huge. And people use the platforms and then they get deplatformed for something they say, or because they like guns, or they show a picture of a gun, or it's like the kids in
Thought
school, like.
crimes.
Yeah.
My 10-year-old draws a picture of a gun, and maybe the teacher, says, "Oh, well, you're suspended for drawing a picture of a gun."
Wow. Yeah. The worst part is that there's a complete, well, I don't want to say complete lack, but there is a massive lack from even the folks who we would support, who we would vote for, that we would send to Congress, for example, to look into this. This is crazy. There's no way this should be allowed to happen. It should
Yes.
Oh,
not be allowed to
absolutely.
happen. The Supreme Court should not sit on the sidelines while this is happening, because then there is no justice. There is no justice if we're not allowed to do things that are literally baked into the Constitution.
Right.
I,
And then
I agree. And
on the same vein, in the same vein as that, we struggle to maintain compliance and licenses to do this stuff. I mean, so it's
Mm-hmm.
not like we're just some wild group of people that are out there doing crazy stuff. I mean, I maintain a federal firearms license. I pay a
Mm-hmm.
special occupational tax.
So do
I've
I.
got a huge. I mean, they know me at my local ATF place, so
Right.
or agency. So, it's not like we're in the in the woods, doing crazy stuff. We're doing it out in the open, and it's such a struggle. This is one of the reasons I only have an Instagram account, because I figure that's where I'll put all my eggs. And if they ban me, I haven't wasted. I'll just take it and move it somewhere
Mm-hmm.
else. But maintaining all of them across this field of social media, when they're capricious about canceling people,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, we've definitely, we and the thing about it is there's a lot of money, like the firearms industry that we all somehow play a part in. Even if you're on the consumer side of it, right? Even if someone listening to us is on the consumer side of this, there's a lot of money involved here. You know what I mean? A lot of money is involved in this. Probably you would know better than me, Steve. Probably billions of dollars
And where
involved
do
in
they
this.
expect national defense to come from? I mean, where do they
Yeah.
expect the next innovation to come from if there's
Mm-hmm.
this huge wet blanket
Mm-hmm.
through licensing and regulation and
Mm-hmm.
all the compliance and guidance and all this nonsense? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
where's the next moonshot going to come from? Where is it going to be something? Because it's wildly difficult to do all that.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Here's what I ask myself: what's the catalyst? Like, what is the industry waiting for? I'm not saying no one in the industry is doing anything. I'm not saying that. I think there are folks who are trying to do things. We've talked about PSA, for example, has done a lot of things. The CEO of PSA has been out there talking about, for example, they're actually putting out their own insurance. I believe they bought a bank for
Oh wow, good
for
for
the
them.
financial question that we asked here, and there's other things happening. But the industry as a whole, like SHOT Show happens, and none of this gets talked about. You know.
Yeah, I think the personalities of people in this industry, much like myself, and
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the reasons I'm really enjoying meeting all so many other manufacturers and the people behind the products. We all just want to be left alone. We just want we're working on stuff, we're doing stuff, we're making stuff happen, and we're bringing it to market, and that in and of itself is a task. And so, yeah, I think we do need to, take the awareness that we have and all these things that are happening and channel it into some kind of like mutual support network, something like that. At least if somebody has a problem, an issue, or something that happens to them, they can disseminate that to others.
Yeah.
And the connections,
we've got to do it better than this. It's weird. We've got NSSF and we've got a whole bunch of other organizations, and we don't have anyone saying, let's put everything down and sit around the table and say, what can we all actually do to help with this? What can everyone, folks like myself creating content, people like yourself that are actually manufacturing things, the folks who are buying things or enjoying the hobby, what can we all do to get together to do something about this? It's really crazy. Like, we've got Arms List down there right now. Arms List sponsors us, right? Which we appreciate. Arms List is constantly out there fighting this. The powers that be are always trying to sue Arms List out of existence. And what people don't realize is that if they're able to take down Arms List, and even sometimes we're doing things that are in that vein, right? If they're able to take down Arms List, that's it. That's game over. But these guys are like fighting it all the time with their own money. They find it very difficult to get like organizations out there to get behind them and all that kind of stuff. And we have to somehow stop that, because one day we'll wake up and this is going to be on a mass level, not just one person or a few people here and there. It's going to be everything and everyone. Another friend of mine that happens to actually make leather holsters, Andrew's Custom Leather. One day he realized that his bank account was frozen, and he was like, why is my bank account frozen? And it's because the bank realized that he makes leather holsters, and they're like, wait a second, how do we know this guy isn't getting exotic leather from somewhere bad?
Oh, that's right.
And they just froze his account.
That was the craziest story.
Yeah.
So they had no evidence that he had, lion skin holsters, but they're like, maybe.
He's getting his holsters from companies that obviously have to bring them in and go through customs.
Now, what are all these, Louis Vuitton leather bags? Did they freeze Louis Vuitton's bank account? Hell no.
The bank just heard leather holsters and saw that it was firearms. Steve, you were going to say something about it? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, Gibson guitar. It's just, I think it was a few years ago they got busted for bringing in some kind of wood or something like that you weren't supposed to use.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, they had some exotic wood.
Yeah, right. Big deal, right?
Yeah, this is the thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So at any point here, these guys can do whatever they want to do and deny people rights, and we're just letting it happen. And I think that it's going to be too bad for us, because we're going to all just wait until we wake up and it's there. We need to have our own platform, social media platforms, and everyone needs to play a part in that, and we need to have our own ways to finance stuff. We need to keep our own money. It's almost like when Italians came to America and people didn't like them, they had to get together and do stuff, or when the Irish came, or when the slaves were given their freedom here, those black people had to get together and figure out how to pool their resources and make things happen, and they were doing pretty well until people went after them. We're kind of in that same boat, that if we want to survive, we have to get together and pool our resources and help everyone out. And when you have folks, for example, like John Crump, trying to tell people stuff is coming, we need to go, okay, that's coming, let's get ready for it.
Oh, hell yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead, Steve.
I was just going to say, the NSSF and things like that, they are working hard, and I don't want to say, that I have this idea for a network, and then like other people are probably out there like screaming at the video, like, oh, well, there's this and there's this. Mm-hmm. I'm probably ignorant of so many things out there that so many organizations, things like that, even legal teams that are working very, very hard for this stuff. Yeah. So it's never going to be 100%, in terms of this free flowing network of information, but it's like these small pockets of fighting and these small pockets of progress in terms of getting laws changed and stuff like that. And I know there are people out there working hard, and
Yeah.
I don't know who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not trying to, I don't know what happens at the NSSF, right? I'm not privy to exactly what they get up to. Look, they got SHOT Show off the ground, it happened. People were able to go to SHOT Show. Rich went there. My friend Walter from Safety Harbor Farm. Did you go there, Rex? Were you out at SHOT Show?
No, we
Okay.
did not. We're so backlogged with cans here. That's
Mhm.
basically all we're going to be doing for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, making the donut.
Yes.
Yeah, but
So how long?
Go ahead, Rich.
What is the ATF delay right now on getting a stamp?
So Form 4 just made this massive transition from into a digital format. So there's a website called eForms, and that's where I file like the Form 2s when I make the cans, and then to transfer them to a dealer tax free, that's on a Form 3. And so when the NFA item actually goes to the end user, it's on a Form 4. Basically, what I understand, and I don't do Form 4s because I only do business to business. I only sell to dealers, distributors, and stuff. But what I understand is that those times were getting very lengthy. And for individuals, they were running about 6 months plus, and then for trusts, because of the layers of legal stuff there,
Right, yeah.
they were running a little bit longer, almost out to a year. But now, just before Christmas, they started the e-Form 4 now, so it's an electronic Form 4, and the end goal of that is to speed up the whole form process to make it less labor intensive, at least on the examination side of things at NFA and ETF. So, right now, it's anywhere between 6 months and a year, and I think it's going to stay there for a while until the transition is complete to the digital space, and then it'll be like, okay, maybe it's 90 days, but I don't know. I mean, it's certainly not 90 days right now.
Okay, all right, that's good. That's good to know. We've got a minute in this section. I don't think at this point sections even matter. But I'm just giving everyone the heads up that we're probably gonna do a break and then come back here. So are you seeing? So you're not really seeing the end results of any of that yet? You're saying?
I'm expecting I'll hear about it from a lot of my bigger dealers, and of course, you'll probably see some transition in sales too, if the market, because there's a lot of hesitation in the market, especially for beginners or first time buyers, that this huge wait time, to pick up your can or your whatever else. It puts a wet blanket on the market somewhat. So I think what's going to happen is it's going to it'll translate into sales. Like if you can take in terms of the digitization of the
Hold on one sec. We wouldn't be able to keep the Who Moved My Freedom podcast going without the support of a DAO, or decentralized autonomous organization like TUSC Crypto. TUSC cryptocurrency is a firearm-friendly e-commerce option for online payment transactions, secured on the blockchain. So when you're in the crypto market, please consider TUSC, TUSC. There you go. My apologies for that, Steve. Cut you off in mid-sentence there.
Yeah,
It's cruel. It's cruel. Yeah, you were saying, sorry.
The e-form process, as long as the government didn't, bid the IT infrastructure out to the absolute lowest bidder, I think it'll actually speed up. Probably if e-form 4s, if people transition from traditional paper Form 4s to e-form 4s, say over a period of 6 months, just for the sake of round numbers, call it at least another 6 months after that to a year after that. So a year and a half, you should probably see some things moving really fast.
Okay, very cool. Let's take that and segue into what you make, Rex. How are you supposed to say it? Is it Rex Silentium or Silentium? Silentium, right?
You could say it either way, but it's Rex Silentium, and that particular order of the words means kings of silence.
Kings of silence.
If you said Silentium Rex, it'd be King of Silence, so it's plural.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, so we're working on a bunch of new. We're working on a new project for maximizing suppression. We're always chasing those really low numbers.
Mm-hmm.
We have a B and K pulse system coming to really get some accurate quantitative numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're actually talking with some other suppressor companies right now in terms of, and it's not.
Uh-oh. Is it, wait a second, what happened? Yeah.
But they want a uniform. We're just trying to get uniform sound measurements. So
Okay,
that,
yeah. You guys broke up for a second there. I don't know if that was me. Oh, was that me? Okay, so I lost those guys here. I'm not sure exactly what is going on. Okay, everyone's dialing back in. Hold on a second. All right, we'll get these guys back in here. Yeah, I lost you guys for. I'm not. Was that me? Maybe that was me that happened. I don't know. I think my internet and
Been on your end.
Yeah, that might be on my end, but I think we're still feeding out there to the folks. If you guys can hear us, let us know just in case we got something going on here.
Are you Starlinking right now?
No, I am using one of. We have a whole bunch of different devices here, Steve. Like we've got 2 phones, 2 iPads. This is I'm broadcasting from the country. I live in the country. I actually have Starlink, but it's not consistent enough yet to use for the podcast. So,
I mean, you're offshore in a boat. What is this?
it's a conspiracy.
I'm in the van. I'm in a van, man. So I could be at any moment. I could pick up here and drive off if I need to. Okay, I'm ready for this.
So the ATF doesn't know where to find you.
Anything apocalyptic that this way comes, I want to be ready to move,
now,
sir.
Are there armored RVs? Is that?
I think they do have those. Yes, they do.
It's just an MRAP.
Yeah. Mine is. It's gonna be real tight.
Oh yeah,
quarters.
that's right. That market's already cornered.
Yeah. It's gonna be. It's gonna be real tight corners. Cruiseman says they hear me. Okay, cool. Armament and Axis says put more quarters in, Hank. So they.
Is that the parking meter where you're at?
Yeah. I have no idea what's going on, man. For all we know, that we're getting monitored.
No, we are monitored. That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. So okay, I see that Flying Rich said that GoFundMe hit 32K.
32K, yeah.
That's good. I hope they don't go after that, and that's actually.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying to figure out how I can see if they're getting shadow banned or not, because I see other fundraisers. Look, this fundraiser was started 5 hours ago as of now, and it's up to 32,570.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be showing on more of their front page as like, hey, here's a fundraiser for blah, but as a featured fundraiser. But I don't see it out there. Yeah. So I'm hoping it doesn't. They don't hold the money. Hopefully that the money quickly goes to Erica.
Yeah, if they do, we'll figure out another way. We'll figure out another way around it.
Oh yeah,
and we'll do what we can to let you guys know about it. Cruiseman says throw another hamster on the wheel. Lola says we have Starlink, Verizon home device, 2 iPads, 3 iPhones. We spend more money to broadcast than some people's cars and mortgage. Yeah, that's true.
Damn.
A lot of money.
That's nuts.
Hey, we got to do this. We have to make it happen. I'm waiting for the future to catch up with what we're trying to do here.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So listen, let's get back to Rex Silentium here. Let's see some stuff. Steve. The people want to see awesomeness.
So the one thing we developed a little over a year ago is this QD system. And so I've looked at the thread over break systems and a couple of other quick disconnect systems, and the lug system seemed to be the way to go, and I just wanted to make some improvements on that. So this is a 6 lug, and it's tapered in the back, so it drives concentricity to keep your the bore of your suppressor on the same axis as the bore of your barrel.
Okay.
And I wanted to make it fast, like truly quick, like quick disconnect. And so all you have to do is attach this muzzle device, and then there's the receiver for the back of the can. And this is the universal thread, as you mentioned before, the 1 3/8 24. And you simply slide it on, pass the lugs, push down, rotate only 30 degrees, and it clicks on.
Cool.
That's
Wow.
it.
And that looks
And then
good too.
you just reverse the process and take it off.
Very nice. So this is your own system. Go ahead.
Yep. You can pick up another can with the same receiver on the back, slide it over, click it on.
Okay.
So it's rotate in any direction and it locks and unlocks?
Yep. And so there are
So
6
30
lugs,
degrees.
so 30 degrees to get it in between the teeth. And so there's teeth actually on the back of the lug, in addition to the taper that I was talking about. And so the teeth keep it from rotating off the lug. And then right here is the clutch mechanism that keeps pressure on the back of the can. This ring is also a lock ring. So for machine guns and shotguns and pistols, you can, or PCCs, I should say, not handguns. You don't need to lock down this ring. But let's say you have a precision rifle, okay? You have a long range rifle, PRS rifle, or whatever you're going to shoot for, sub-minute groups. You put the can on just like this, same procedure, but then you just tighten this ring right up to the back of the can, and then it locks on there like it's welded.
Oh, so I've got a couple of questions. I'm sure Rich has some questions. So that muzzle device that's going on the gun, how much is that device from you guys?
So for the receiver that threads into the back of the can, just that little part, okay, so not the can itself, and this whole device here that threads onto the barrel, the retail cost on that is $179.50.
Okay.
So
And that's
buying that
a freely transferable device.
Oh yeah. It's not regulated yet like FRTs, but
Yeah.
it is just an attachment for a suppressor, or for we make muzzle shrouds. I don't have one here, but they're about half of this size, and they've got holes in them, and it's not a suppressor, So and then you could just slap that guy on there and click it on.
Yeah. So so how many suppressors are all your suppressors using the universal standard? Or is it just certain suppressors in the line? That's what I'm curious.
Right. So the main part of the line uses the 1 3/8 24 universal thread pattern. That's the rifle cans, of all the different lengths and all the different customizations. And in the pistol can too, we switched over to a 1 3/8 thread back here so that you could use direct thread mounts. And we also have a booster that will thread into, the pistol can. The pistol cans come with this booster. What it does is it allows the action to cycle. And then you can actually thread this booster into an appropriate, size can that will, allow a 9mm or 45 ACP to pass through it. So it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of, and you can use it with other companies' cans.
Yeah. So the beauty of this for folks who are into suppressors, like typically, this is from my understanding, and any of these guys can jump in here. When you get suppressors, you have to get the muzzle, you have to get the suppressor, go through all that stuff, get the muzzle device, then you have to put those muzzle devices on everything, and then obviously, now we've got a lot more modular things, but it becomes like a whole expense because you're kind of locked into a system. But with the universal setup, if you wanted to, you don't actually even have to buy a suppressor from Rex Silentium. You can actually just get those things and put them on suppressors you already have. Yeah, if those are threaded in the universal thread, right?
Right. Like you said, people have made a big investment in like the dead air systems, or the silencer code systems, or even some of the other systems out there.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why, you can't use those systems with our can, because it's a universal thread. If you built a can these days without a 1 3/8 24 thread, you'd be committing financial suicide, because there are so many people that are heavily invested in these mounting systems.
Yeah. Like you said, there's a bunch of companies, and I think it's great because you can switch stuff around. There's companies that give you, that can adapt cans that already exist to that. to that thread pitch, and you can do so. You don't really have to be in this situation if you want to switch around suppressors or switch things around that you're spending a ton of money. You may, like in the case of what we're talking about here with this particular muzzle device you have, right, for the system. You may obviously you have to buy that, but that's not ridiculously expensive. Um,
Right.
Now, how does that thread on the barrel?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because it looks like you need a tool for that, or
well, no, this whole unit right here. So from the locking ring up is just, excuse me, it's an assembly of just 4 parts.
Mm-hmm.
It's the main muzzle device, it's the clutch, it's a spring, and then it's the locking ring.
Okay.
You can take it apart, put it together very easily. This threads right onto the muzzle, and then to lock it, to lock it in, you just have to use a wrench to tighten it down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So adjustable wrench or something like that that'll do it. I'm just looking for where there's flats or
something that's a little bit less than 1.5 inches, and most hardware stores in the country have something that'll do that.
Yeah. So what's your? I think we're getting some questions from Armin and Axes. Is it 1/2 by 28 standard AR thread? What different threads do you have?
So we have this available in 2 standard threads, the 1/2 28 and then the 5/8 24. We do have a supply of them in 3/4 24, which we actually make small adapters for. So like, let's say you have a SIG MCX and it's got a metric 13.5 by 1 left-hand thread. We can actually make one of these work on that. So there's a lot of options for that.
Okay. So if someone has a weird, I forget what it is right now, but like for example, when I got my Scorpion, here's my Scorpion. This has a weird thread on it. I can't remember what it is right now, but this thing comes off and it has some weird thread from whatever. Where are the Scorpions made again?
are they Czech?
Is it? Yeah, because it's coming in from CZ. Yeah. So yeah, made in Czech Republic, and it had a weird thing on here. So you'd have to get an adapter thing. If someone finds something with a weird threading, can you guys make that? Or I mean, I know that's probably ridiculous.
We typically have that oddball stuff in stock. I mean, there's a bunch of muzzle threads out there, all different sizes and specs, for different calibers. That the Scorpion, I believe, under that thread, and that it's probably like a S2 that you have, that model, and so there's a 1/2 28 thread under there, because I have a couple of those older Scorpions, but there's a 1/2 22 thread in there somewhere.
Yeah, I remember having to get an adapter for it, whatever it is. I just can't remember exactly what it is right now, but I remember having to get some kind of adapter for it to put on there, and it does have that. Like I see, it's got this click off thing it's almost not like an AK exactly, but it's got that weird. I don't know if you can even see this. Yeah, it's got that weird pitch on it. Yeah.
Almost like a pipe thread, huh?
Yeah, and then like see, it goes on. This thing goes on over this, and then clicks around. That's what that sound you're hearing.
I have 2 of those. That thread that's sticking out the furthest on the muzzle is actually 1/2 28.
Oh, okay.
I have a couple in the safe over here. They're SPRs. Okay.
Yeah.
And the QD system on for the pistol, and I recently got a full auto Scorpion, which is just awesome.
So yeah, that I could just imagine. I would think that your Chris Vector, because I've fired the Chris Vector machine, like full auto and suppressed. Oh, that's just a sweet thing.
It's a lettuce cutter. This is going about 1,200 rounds a minute. It's hard to keep on target if you're not training with it. And so the first couple of friends I handed it to, it wasn't fun until they got aggressive with it and could lean into it. I mean, it's quite a bit of recoil when you're firing 20 rounds a second.
Yeah. So did you from the beginning lean into this universal suppressor standard that people put out there? Or can you give the folks a little bit of background on it? Like I've tried to talk to people about it, but I'm not as well versed on this. I know how to pull the triggers better than making anything. So
right.
Yeah,
it came onto the market. I'm not sure who started it, but it is the de facto standard, and it just it gives anybody using it the best opportunity to sell their product, just because, like I said, there's so many people that are heavily invested in a myriad of different systems. Like for example, like we scaled the system up for our 50 BMG can. So
look at that.
the back of the 50 BMG can uses a mount. So it's not too dissimilar than like the direct thread mounts, right?
Mhm.
For the 1 3/8 24.
Mm-hmm.
This happens to be a big beefy, 20 pitch thread because you got a 50 BMG ripping through it. But
Yeah.
so that way, when you invest in a can like this, you're going to spend almost $2,000 on this can.
Mm-hmm.
There's a slew of different threads for the 50 caliber. We stock 7 different threads, but if you have 2 50 calibers, or you sell one and get a new one and the thread's different, you can just change that right back here. So
Yeah.
Sweet.
I see SHF Walt, so Walt from Safety Harbor Firearms is out there, and he makes the 50 BMG SHTF 50, which I have one of those.
I ordered one yesterday.
Yes. So Walt, tell us what the thread pitch is on that, and so just so we can find out now, because I might have to spend. If Steve is going to accept TUSC, I might be spending some of my TUSC millions on. And you know what? Your suppressors look really good. What's the treatment of your? Because they all have this really cool looking color.
So this is what it looks like before it goes in the oven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's shiny stainless
Titanium?
steel.
Oh, stainless.
No, this. Yeah.
Okay.
And so this patina forms from the heat treatment process.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first started, we were doing Cerakote, we were doing some black nitride,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of the dealers had commented on what they look like when they come out of the oven, and they're like, Steve, don't send them off and get them coated, just give them to us like that. And it was like a firestorm. Once people started seeing cans like that, they were like, yeah, I want that. So
Mm-hmm.
we just heat treat them, and we put a light coat of oil on them, just because after you heat treat it, the surface gets kind of reactive.
Mm-hmm.
And that light coat of oil keeps this color, all the different tones and hues, and you get some changes around the welds. And these are
But
these
that's
are all
that adds to the beauty, I think, of the patina, right? I mean, yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, those look really good. Walt is saying that it's 1 to 14.
Yep, we have a ton. That seems to be one of the most common threads for the 50 caliber.
Okay.
So
Nice.
we make mounts for that.
Mm-hmm.
Some new ones.
Can we get a deal like 2 for 1 or?
Okay.
Oh, I'll hook you guys up.
Listen,
we got insider. We got the insider discount thing.
look, yes,
Ah.
I'm sure we would appreciate that, but we do have TUSC. We got to figure out. We got to get you to talk to Rob McNeely, get the TUSC thing going there, so that we can use some TUSC on that. Yeah, look, check it out.
Yep.
Look, I'm wearing my TUSC shirt right now, right there.
Well, I definitely need a TUSC shirt. I got to start off right, and then maybe a TUSC wallet would help too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I will trade you a TUSC shirt for that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, but I do have that 50, and that would be really nice. I'm trying to remember how long the barrel is. Do you know which 50 did you order, Flying Witch?
I got the single shot 29-inch.
29. Okay, yeah, that'll be really nice with a can on it. So what other cans do you have there that you could show us? Yeah.
This is 14 and a half inches long, so
Okay.
it's gonna add some length there.
Yeah.
Girth.
Yeah.
Length.
Show us
Yes.
some other cans. Show us some other cool stuff that you have there. It's all about.
So-
Let's see.
This, I have to stand back a little bit so you can see it all.
Ooh,
this
shotgun.
is the shotgun
Ooh.
right here. It's modular.
Mm-hmm.
And this also uses the same QD system, albeit this QD system has a choke tube adapter on it, so it can go into the choke system in the muzzle. But this will soon be available for the M22 075 metric thread for the Saigas and Vepers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
It'll have direct threads for a more economical attachment point. But this is the QD system.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
That is really nice. So you could put that on the shotgun. Oh.
It's in your trunk or wherever you need it, and it won't be 2 miles long.
Yeah.
And then when you want to suppress it or do a quick breach, you can just lock it on.
Huh.
Now, all right, so with pistol ammo, there's subsonic ammo, so you get the best out of your suppressor. What about shotguns? How does that work?
Mm-hmm.
Federal does make some subsonic, and we did some testing with that, and it was quieter for sure. But the bore size on the shotgun can is so ginormous. It's one of the more challenging things to actually suppress
Mm-hmm.
in efficiency terms. This one actually does very, very well, and we actually made some revisions, which is what we always do between production runs. So we did a couple of revisions that are coming out in the next batch in May. So you can. This will handle this shotgun suppressor will handle. You know, we haven't found something it can't handle. Let's put it to you that way.
Okay.
We've
So
shot
if I was shooting sporting clays with that, what would it sound like?
That's kind of hard. That's kind of hard to describe.
Yeah.
It
It's gonna sound like.
wouldn't,
No, I'm just making that up.
yeah, it wouldn't ring your ears.
Yeah.
Like the Vector and the pistol and stuff, I can shoot right here in the shop, and it's just silly quiet. This isn't what you'd refer to as silly quiet, but it's very quiet. So
Yes.
it'd be much more comfortable.
Yeah. With shotguns, I'm assuming it's just better if you're shooting slugs, right? Or is that completely wrong?
It's
Or is
just
that the
whatever
only?
application. Yep,
Okay.
whatever application, whatever ammo you need for the application you're endeavoring. So slugs.
Birdshot or whatever, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And like, for example, we've shot, unwadded buckshot and unwadded slugs through this, rifled slugs, the 3-inch magnums, we've tortured it. So
Okay.
there's another company out there too that makes a really wicked shotgun called Genesis Arms.
Mm-hmm.
And, they are very happy, with this particular embodiment of the can. And the threads on the back of the can are the industry standard threads. So
Mm-hmm.
it's 1 3/8 24 back here.
Mm-hmm.
And we've tested this, not that we encourage or tell people that they can do it, but we've shot 308s and 338s and 5.56 through it and stuff. And it's loud and it's silly, but you can put it on your gun. You can put it on other guns if you want to.
Okay. Yeah, I've got so many questions here. They're like all coming to mind immediately.
So the shotgun can is modular, so you can take.
Yeah, so that's what I saw. These knuckles, is this on all your suppressors? Because I see this kind of like knuckled look on there. How does that work? Like all of your suppressors have these section. Oh, so it's like 3 to a section typically, or just on this particular
No,
one?
I just pick it off in the middle. Each one of
Okay.
these is a section. I can just disassemble this here.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's the question everybody always talks about: cleaning your suppressor, and how easy is it to clean, and do you have to send it back to the factory?
Mm-hmm.
Well, with modular cans, you can clean them at home. For aluminum, just use soap and water, just a detergent soap. Because if you use chemicals on it, you can really mess up the aluminum. It doesn't play well with certain chemicals. So the pistol can is also modular. You can take baffles out, and you can make this 2 baffles, like on this Glock 43.
Mm-hmm.
This is the short configuration for a little bit more discreet carry.
Right.
But the welded cans, you obviously can't get inside these, so you don't want to shoot very, or I should say, unplated ammunition through these, because you'll get a lead buildup, and over time the sound efficiency will drop.
Okay. Are the welded ones the machine gun rated ones, or is everything machine gun rated?
There's gradations of machine gun rating.
Okay.
So
depending on what it is, I'm guessing.
These cans right here are full auto rated. They're stainless steel. They're welded.
Mm-hmm.
Full auto doesn't necessarily make them any dirtier. Carbon's going to come and go with the supersonic shock wave that goes through the can anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that is full auto rated. This is full auto rated. If you go to the Instagram account for Rex Silentium, I demo this can back to back on my new toy, the the Select Fire Scorpion, which is just a fun toy. So these are full auto rated for pistol calibers. If you strap this on a 5.56 and light it, you're going to have bad things happen.
Okay. Let me see. Hold on. I'm trying to pull it up here and see exactly which one is that on the. I've got your Instagram, which is just Rex
So
Silentium.
recently, it's probably down a few rows, maybe. See if I can.
It's going to be video, right? Is it is it
Yeah,
this video
so
here?
one. Yep.
Here we go.
That's the one.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. Here, let me. When you guys go to the Instagram, make sure you smash the thumbs up. Say, I'm even gonna go comment. That'll help. Thanks for coming on the show. I'll put that in there right now. Boom. There you go. Yeah. So that's cool. We'll let that play.
We make special cans for police and military that have sustained full auto requirements.
So I think Walter is asking how. I'm just going to let that play in the background. Walter's asking how short of a barrel with the shotgun can.
As short as you want it.
Okay.
I don't mean to be so abrupt in my answer, but the design of this can intermittently supports the payload. Okay. So you have a wad of shot traveling in between each of these baffles. You can have a short barrel, you can have a long barrel. This one right here is actually a 14 or 14 and a half inch barrel.
Okay. Very nice. All right, let's see. What else do you have over there? I don't know if Rich has any other questions here. I will.
No, I'm just looking. It's funny. I was already following him, but it didn't pop up. It seems to be the Instagram.
Ooh, I like this. I like this.
Some accounts you have to spell all the way. It won't. I'm like, all right, I'm already following him.
What's this can on this handgun right here?
So they shadow banned me.
Yeah. Do you see this handgun that I'm playing here? It's like a camo, like a brown and black camo. What the heck is that? Is that what is this gun?
That's sweet.
It's the same right here.
Oh, that's the Saint. Okay. Is that the same gun right there that you have?
No. It's not the same. It's the same. This is the configuration of the can.
Oh, that's the same one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I believe that's. Oh, I don't want to get it wrong and say it's somebody who it's not, but it should say who it is because we don't. Obviously when we repost.
Oh yeah, let me look at. Reading is fundamental. Let's see what. Glock 19. Okay, Glock 19, gold camo Cerakote. There you go.
But you don't know Gucci Glock 19?
Yeah. The company that does that to the pistols they have hands of gold. I mean, they do some awesome stuff.
So that is gold camo Cerakote? No. Is it DEFCON 3? What's the name of the company? DEFCON 3? Okay, let's go to DEFCON 3. And I'm following those guys too.
They do some awesome work. I mean, just awesome work.
Yeah. Where are they? I'm waiting for everything to load there so you guys get
Texas, I believe. I can't remember.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So you guys can check them out as well. Shout out to that. Oh, look, this looks familiar. What is this right here?
No, that's Mr. No, that's not Mr. Snow. That's what's his face? Chairman Wan's gun.
Oh, okay. I have no clue who that is, but okay. Who's Chairman Wan? I don't know.
So he's another 3D print guy. He actually designs chairs, believe it or not. That's his day job.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what other cool stuff you have, Steve. That's
all I have laid out at the moment. Otherwise, I'd have to run over to my safe and start digging, and that's not good for airtime.
Show us the Vector again. Where's the Vector?
The Select Fire Vector.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. It's an interesting contraption. Like, so the safety's back here, and the Select Fire is all right here.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's damn sexy with a can on it.
Yeah. You know what? I have have you ever seen the 22 versions of the Vectors? I have one of those.
I haven't shot one, but I have seen them.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like
22.
yeah. Rich wants to pull out some guns. If you want to, while
Yeah.
Rich is showing stuff, you can grab something if you want to. If you want to, Steve, what are you showing us here, Rich?
So this is actually today's build of the Control Pew. It's a Glock 34 bullpup, and the gray part is printed in PLA plus. So I was just trying that out today. I was having some issues. It just kind of bent a little bit. Let's see, like right in here.
Yeah, I could
So
see
there's
it.
a little bit of a curvature to it.
Yeah, bent up or
So
something like that. Looks like yeah.
yeah, it kind of arced a little bit, so that's kind of throwing it off. It doesn't. Let me just. It's safe, so it's like a super hard trigger pull.
Yeah. So
And
big shout
so
out to Control Pew. I would also say Control Pew. Who is it? Control Pew, JSD Supply, Brownells.
Brownells
All the companies that helped with that. Before Steve shows off
and
some more goodness, I will
yep.
show. Look, check this out. This is my Scorpion. My Scorpion has that
Ooh,
what is
the
this
brace?
thing called again? Yeah, this is the
Tail
what is-
hook,
tail
right?
hook, tail hook brace right there. Let me see. I
Right.
can go full screen on this. The tail hook from Gearhead Works. There you go. I've
Nice.
like heavily modified this.
And Gearhead Works was at SHOT, and they had the John
Yeah.
Wick Mach 1 there.
Yeah, he had that going on. And this this is something I think I would like to have with a integrally suppressed barrel. My Sub 2000. This is the Gen 2. So wouldn't that be awesome with a integrally suppressed barrel? I mean,
Oh, heck yeah.
yeah. That would be great. So here you go. M Carbo stuff on there. I'm just showing this real quick so we can go to the awesomeness that Steve has. Let's see what
Okay,
you got there.
I'm going against my better judgment here because
Uh-oh.
this is going to cause some email pain.
Uh-oh.
But we're getting ready to release something we've been working on, and it's really neat. So, this is a really, fat can, right? It's
Yeah.
got, like I said to you, I think before we went live, there's no replacement for displacement. Okay. So this weighs about 12 ounces. It's 5.56 inches long, and it's 1.7 inches in diameter. Well, I can make a can that sounds just like this, but much smaller and thinner.
Okay.
And that is the new BCG can that's coming out soon. So this tiny little thing
And skinny.
sounds better.
That's skinny.
Sounds better than this thing.
How? Magic?
Physics.
That's crazy.
And this is the new mounting system. It's called the Rex Hex. It's just like a Me Too thread over brake. Just our version of a Me Too thread over brake.
Okay.
So that's the mounting system for this particular series of can. The taper is in front of the thread, 5/8, 24, half 28. We could do some other customs down the road. This can right here is for a 264. So 6.5 Creedmoor, pretty much any 6mm or 6.5mm you want to throw it onto, 5.56 if you wanted to. This is hearing safe.
With the same sonics of
Really?
that fat can.
It's actually better than hearing safe.
Okay, I need
So
to see
are-
some video on this. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, is that firing subsonic ammo or regular ammo?
Full send, brother. It's
Really?
anything. Yep. We rolled the dice on some new baffle designs, and I've been playing with the idea for a while, and this was the embodiment that I wanted to try it on, because if you can make this sound good, wait till you see what you can do with this.
Exactly.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is going to be really cool. Do you have video out
These
on this
are
yet or not?
available yet.
Say that again, Steve. Sorry, I cut you off.
These are not available yet. We're thinking maybe March.
Okay, so this is a little tease that you guys heard about first here on the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. There's no video or nothing like that out yet, right?
No, we're compiling that now. There's only one of these out in the world with another company that we're really good friends with. And we actually, the name BCG, actually, we named it after their company because we actually started this whole process with them probably over a year ago with just trying to minimize the envelope. and then I had some ideas as far as, so they wanted a small can.
Okay.
So,
And
Steve, you're saying size doesn't matter, it's the motion of the ocean.
No, that still matters. But
Always.
this,
Depends
this
on
is
who
just
you
a
ask.
variation on a theme.
Go ahead, say that again, Steve.
This is just a variation on a theme, but the baffle system and then the synergy in the entire assembly really makes this impressive. I mean, this will knock your socks off.
Yeah.
This right here weighs 8 ounces.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
D-stands, is
Not
it titanium?
Nope, it's not titanium, it's stainless steel.
D-stand says Breachers Customs.
Yep, Breachers Customs. We did some work with them. We took an MG22 can and threaded it together and welded it, and it sounded very good. And then once I started playing with that, because James over there got me into it, I realized that this new design that I've been working on for the actual baffle itself should work, pretty well in something this size. And lo and behold, it does.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess we're not gonna get to see a cutaway of how these baffles magically do this. I'm assuming it's very complicated.
Not really. Once you get the hang of it, it's really not complicated. It's so basically once you understand how like regular suppressors work, or some other different baffle designs work in terms of restricting flow in one direction. I mean, if you want to really narrow it down, you know what a diode is. Okay, it restricts electricity going in one direction, or limits it to going in one direction. This is a fluid mechanical diode.
Okay.
So you say it works like a Tesla air valve?
Well, yeah, but the only problem is the Tesla air valve is not something where you can send a projectile. Because the way that's designed, it alternates the flow, but and I think people have actually, or some companies, and I don't know if there are any major companies, they've actually played with that concept in suppressor construction. But the only problem is that the more you move those wing features in the Tesla valve away from the axis, the less efficient it gets, and it's like it's totally not linear. It's very bad.
Yeah, I would be interested in seeing like a cutaway of that with the super slow motion. I don't know. You've seen like some. Yes.
I'm sure our competitors would love to see that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Now, are you patenting that? This technology is.
It will be patent pending after the next revision. Right now, I can show you this just because it's the envelope, and videos will come out, and some other things will come out too. But
I mean, for people listening on audio, this is literally like the size of a cigar. Well, a little bit thicker than a cigar, right? A little bit.
Well, here's the pistol can. Here's the pistol can.
Yeah, this is like a stogie that KD smokes.
So is that like C-cell battery size, D-cell battery size? Yep. What size?
D-cell. This is 1.1 inches in diameter.
Wow. That's going to be very interesting.
Now, does that get crazy hot because you're talking surface area issues, or how?
Not much hot. I mean, it might. You might get it hotter quicker, but that all depends on so many things.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any hotter than a regular can, though. I mean, the physics of a suppressor, the boilerplate physics of a suppressor is to convert sound into heat. That's why a suppressor gets hotter than the barrel.
Yeah. Very interesting.
So
go ahead.
Now, what you need to do is you need to get with CMMG when they do the like Iraq veteran shoot, because they have everybody just doing full auto dumps. You need to get that can on the CMMG machine gun.
Well, we'll be doing that ourselves up here. I mean, I would love to meet those guys over at CMMG for sure. I love their triggers and stuff. But yeah, we do burn downs here. We don't typically publish them, but in this case, and maybe we'll start doing some burn down videos. With just the full auto mag dump stuff. I've only ever published one, but we've done dozens.
Yeah.
I build this can here in the MG series cans. like I said before, we do build special versions of those for sustained full auto applications where we beef everything up inside the can to take like 200 round belts, full auto. In fact, you could go on the website and see. His name is Jason Costel. He's a really good friend. Legacy Arms International, I believe, is his enterprise, and I have it on the suppressor category, the rifle suppressor category. There's 2 of his videos where he's shooting belt feds through my can. Wow. So but it's a belt dump. So I can build whatever you need.
Okay, very cool. So listen, we've
crazy.
almost come to the end of the show here. Let me just show this real quick because Walter's reminding me. This is the KES stock. So bam. Walter's reminding me I didn't show
Sweet.
that. So Walter makes this for the KES for the tail hook. So yes, it's what do you call these? Like a retractable, I guess would be the right name. But you can press the button.
Telescoping.
Yeah, telescoping stock. You can pull it out to different things. So big shout out to Walter on that. Let me do this here. I'm going to go around the clock here since we've hit the 9 o'clock hour. And let these guys tell you all how you can support them or whatever it is they want to say when they're doing this. And then I think we can ask Steve to give us the words of wisdom. So what we're going to do is I'm going to let these guys tell you how you can get in touch with them, follow them on social media, whatever. We're going to run in the end. And then we're going to come back and get the words of wisdom. Let's start. I'm going to start with Flying Rich. How can the folks out there follow or support you, Rich? And I know you put the link for that GoFundMe in the chat again. Go ahead.
So more importantly, Google GoFundMe and Matt Hoover and donate to him. I did drop it in the link, so you'll see that, and hopefully maybe Hank can put in the description of the video. FlyingRich.com, YouTube.com/FlyingRich, and on the grams, I'm FlyingRich_official. So in wherever else, I'm Flying Rich. So all of the other social media, MySpace.
Yeah. MySpace, right, sure, okay.
I am. I'm Flying Rich on MySpace.
Okay, awesome. That's fantastic. Steve, tell the people out there. Are you on MySpace also, Steve?
Oh no, I've never gone for any of the social stuff, and they had dragged me, kicking and screaming onto Instagram.
Right.
So, but we are on Instagram, Silentium, one word. You can reach out to us there. Thank you, Hank, for having me on again. I appreciate that, and anything I can do to support you and your channel and your enterprises, I will do. Rich, it was great chatting with you again. It's always a pleasure. You can reach out to us by email, sales@rexsilentium.com. Please don't ask us about this just yet.
Right,
it's not available.
Don't do it.
And thank you for being patient as we, are in a 20 to 50 day window for backlogged orders. We run about 70 orders behind all the time because we're running full throttle. And I just appreciate everybody's business, and I appreciate your patience with us as we build your epic silence.
Absolutely, Steve. Thanks so much for coming on. It's always fun when we talk, man. It's always fun and interesting. And I really hope that the folks out there who are listening to this or watching this, you're in the market for a suppressor, go check out Silentium. They've got some very cool things on there. And I like where Steve and the whole philosophy of the company is coming from. I'm gonna get my hands on some of this stuff, and I'm gonna make some videos as well and share it with you guys. Big thanks to Flying Rich for coming on as well. I think weren't you on last night?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. He was on last night, as well as John Crump.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys really would support John Crump. I mean, we've been friends for a long time, and John doesn't have to do any of this stuff that he's doing, and he puts himself at risk. I don't think everyone understands.
You know what,
that.
John makes good money on his day job, and all of the other than his day job, he donates to charity. So he's
a good
working
dude.
hard, and he works hard for the charities he believes in.
Absolutely, he's a good dude. So here's what I'm gonna do. Big thanks to everyone in the chat as well. Appreciate all you guys out there. If you're listening to this or watching this and you want to join us live, do it on Utreon. I'm gonna run the end, and then we're gonna come back. And Steve, you're gonna drop some words of wisdom on us. Change our lives, fix the world. No pressure. No pressures. Let me run in the end right now. Hold on. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, listening with us here. I hope you guys appreciate this. Big shout out to all the people joining us on the Firearms Radio Network. We are on the Firearms Radio Network, and we're getting like lots of downloads there, man. So that's a cool thing, and we appreciate the folks who do that. We do rip out the audio, throw this up on iTunes and all the other places. If you can't find it, you can go to hankstrange.com and you can find the podcast. Okay, Steve, words of wisdom, sir.
Be not afraid.
Amen.
That's
Amen.
it.
Amen to that. Absolutely. All right, guys, we are out of here. I got to push some buttons. Stay right there, Steve and Rich. Don't go anywhere. We will see you guys. What's today? Thursday, right? So I believe
Thursday. One more.
I believe tomorrow we have Senor Guns and Gadgets joining us. I believe that should be a very spicy conversation. Thanks so much for everyone. Thanks to Rex Silentium, Steve of Rex Silentium, for joining us, as well as Flying Rich. Stay right there. We'll be right back. Hold on. Okay. And then hit the button.